Yes, can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Why are you so silent if you can really hear? Okay, so today I'm going to discuss one useful topic which is related to creating layers. Okay, so if you ask me what is a layer, uh, this this unique tool of layer is very important. That makes this CAD a really advanced system. Okay, so the concept is something like this. So I'm going to write down here. Uh, suppose you are drawing a particular building. Okay, so this is the plan view of the building. Suppose. Okay, and these are the walls of the building. These are the walls. And then suppose the time comes when you have to draw the different windows and the doors. So the moment it comes to drawing the windows and the doors, suppose this is one door, this is another door, okay, and here is a window. It's difficult to use this pen and pencil to draw it, but anyway, so these are the doors and the windows. Then as a civil engineer, you may have to show the position of the columns. So this is my column, one of the columns. Then this is one of the columns here in this particular room. This may be another column. This may be another column in the room. Okay, so these are column. Okay, so you can include the electrical fittings, the plumbing, and many other things. So the same thing, you can draw it in one file, but you can use different layers to draw these things. For example, you can use a different layer for columns, you can use a different layer for walls, and you can also use a different layers for doors and windows. So what is the advantage is that if you want to only see the outer boundary of the walls, so you can switch off switch off the other layers. So this means you can switch off the column layer, you can switch off the doors and the window layer. So that will result in a drawing where you only will see the outer boundary or only the walls of the room. Similarly, if you just want to find where my columns are, where these columns are positioned, you can switch off the wall layer and you can switch off the doors and the window layer and you can switch on the column layer. So in that case, you will only see the columns And sometimes if you want to include the beams also, you can see the beams. Similarly, you can make a layer for the staircases. You can make a layer for the plumbing devices, or you can make a layer for the furniture inside the house. So the advantage is that your drawing is more organized and it is not clumsy in a way. So you can include the dimensions in a different layer. So today we are going to see how you can create a layer and what the things that you can do with the layer. Okay. So for that, let us see that by default you have one layer here. Okay. And you can type the command LA in order to see the properties of a layer. You type LA and then click enter. So here you will see that there is a small window named layer manager that comes. So in the layer manager you have the option to create a new layer, or you can freeze a layer, you can delete a layer, or sometimes you can activate and non-activate a layer. Okay. So suppose I want to create a new layer. You go to this new, then it says my layer 1. So this layer 1 I can say as walls. Okay. Now this is show or not show. That means you can switch it on or switch it off. Okay. So right now this layer is switch on. If you freeze the layer, you cannot do anything. So you have to unfreeze the layer. Similarly, you can lock and unlock the layer, and then you can choose any color for the layer. So suppose I want to choose a different color for the layer, maybe it is in red color or yellow color, and then I can include some line type or the line style. So what may be the different kinds of lines that you can choose? So there are different line types which you can choose for the layer. By default, this is the solid line. Okay, so normally whatever we draw for the walls and then uh, the interior stuff, most of them are actually by solid layers. Sometimes you can use the hidden layer to show the things that normally we do not see, but those are important things to be shown. So you can just go there and then click others, and you can load. You can load the number of layers. You can see this list. Okay. So for the time being, I am not going to load any layer. So I'm not going to load any layer because I'm going to use the solid line as my default line type. So this thing is called the line weight. So the line weight is not something that you will notice the differences of different line weights unless you plot the drawing. So if you plot the drawing, if the drawing is plotted with a thinner line weight, it will be a thinner line. Sometimes you want to emphasize on a particular line weight, then in that case you will have to choose a, a more thicker line weight. So there are conventions of which line you should be selecting. Suppose a dimension line should be of different line types than the walls. So will it be thinner or thicker? Those are the things you will find it in the theory part. Okay. So by default, we are not going to select any line weight, but you can actually make use of different line weights here. You see, so different line weights are available. Then transparency. This is a new feature, so you can make the layer transparent or opaque by giving different levels of transparency. Okay. So let us create a layer. I am creating a layer. The name of the layer is walls. Okay, and then click OK. Okay, so if you see that the layer that I created are two. This one is the wall layer, but it is not selected. So you go there and then pick up the wall layer, which is now the default layer. Okay. Hmm. So now if I want to draw a line, suppose from here, and I want to draw a line of suppose 30 meter. So what would be my command? At rate 30. Remember, this is in meter. So how much should you be typing? 30 meter. Yes. Come on. Are you listening or not? First of all.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So if it is 30 meter, what should you be typing here? I want to draw a line that is supposed to be the wall which extends up to 30 meter. So how will you draw? It is in x direction. That means it's in x direction. So 30 meter in x direction. How will you draw? At rate?
Uh, 30 no less than
No.
0.
No, yes, but if you type 30, by default, what is my unit here?
Meter.
Huh? My default unit
Millimeter.
is millimeter, but I want a line of 30 meter. So how much should I write here? 1 meter is how much millimeter? How many millimeters?
10.
Huh?
1000.
1000. So it should be 30?
1000.
30,000. 30 followed by 3 zeros. Then less than 0. Yes. Okay. And now see, let's what happens. So this line. So this is my 30 meter line. If you see, this says 30,000. This is 30,000 millimeter. So how will I know this is in millimeter? I can go to type units, sorry, units, and then enter. Yeah. So see, unit, my unit default unit is in decimal. Precision is 0.000. I don't need so much precision. And then unit format is in millimeter. So if I want to really draw it in millimeter, I have to draw 30,000, or otherwise you can change these things here. But I recommend you to leave it as millimeter and then use 30,000 to draw a line of 30 meter. Okay, so let us draw a just simple plan figure. Just a moment. So this is one way, there's another way, this is another way, this is another way. So my this side is 30 meter. Okay. This side is suppose 20 meter. So how would I draw it? I will draw a line again and then go to the end point. Then I can type at rate 20,000 less than 90. Zoom extend. Okay. So there are various other ways how you can draw these two lines. One of them is you can make an offset. You can make an offset of 30,000. Which line? This line, this way. Or you can make an offset of 20,000. Which line? This one, that side. Okay. So this is my outer boundary of the building. It's a big building, 20 meter by 30 meter. Okay. So we are using almost 3-4 commands in order to draw this figure. The same figure can be drawn by using a command called rectangle. Okay. So what is the rectangle command? RECTANGLE, rectangle. So if you type REC and then enter, you can draw the same thing, but very quickly. Okay, let us see. REC, rectangle. So I have a rectangle initial point, this one I specified, and then it asks me specify the opposite corner. So my opposite corner is at rate. This is my opposite corner. If this is my origin, this is my opposite corner. So my opposite corner will be at rate 30,000 and 20,000. Understood? Oh, just a moment. Rectangle. Yes. So this is the same thing you can draw using the rectangle command. So this my hand is here and my opposite corner is here. So this point has a coordinate of, in the x direction 30,000, and in the y direction it has got a coordinate of 20,000. Okay. Now, so this is the same feature which is being drawn using the rectangle command. But if you look closely, you will see a difference between this feature and then this feature. What is the difference? This feature is one complete entity. So if I want to check the property, I type li list and then click this feature. It will be treated as one object. So what is this object? So it says it is a closed polygon, or it is a polyline which is actually closed. Why? Because this is a rectangle, and if it is a rectangle, it will have an area. Okay? So this much is the area. So if this much is the area, what would be the area in terms of square meter? This is an area in terms of square millimeter. How will you find this area in terms of square meter? You should be quick in these things, okay? How much is my area? This much. What is the unit? Square millimeter. I want this thing to be in square meter. So I should be dividing this thing by what? 1, 0, 0, 0. Again, 0, 0, 0. 600 square meter. That is the area. So the same thing, you are getting it in terms of square millimeter. How much is my perimeter? So what is the perimeter? Do you know the difference between area and perimeter? The perimeter is basically the length. If you start walking from the origin point here, you walk in this direction up to here, then walk along this path up to here, here, and here. The total distance that you will cover is your perimeter. So this way is 30,000 plus 20,000, 50 plus again 50. So 100,000 millimeter. So 100,000 millimeter means 1, 2, 3. 100 meter is the perimeter. 600 square meter is the area. Okay. So again, you see the layer. It says which layer you are drawing this object. What do you see? Yes, come on.
Walls.
Walls. Okay. So the thing is that since we are discussing of layers, you can create another layer and then draw something else. Okay. For example, type LA. You want to create another layer. Suppose you may say this is the boundary of the building. So everything remains same. So you can create a yellow or red color layer, and then I have created one more layer. The name is boundary. Here you see it's boundary. So I want to draw the boundary. Okay. For that, I am drawing the boundary as something like this. So this is my boundary. This is the actual building. This is the plan view. So if you want to switch off or switch on a particular layer, I want to switch off this layer. It says the active layer is hidden. Now you cannot see what was drawn in the boundary layer. So the important thing is that you can switch on and off a particular layer in order to show or hide the contents of that particular layer. Okay, so this you will realize that this is very useful, especially if you are drawing a plan view of a building and then it includes many different objects which falls into different categories. If you put these layers into individual layers, if you put these objects into individual layers, then sometimes it is very easy and it becomes easy to organize your drawing. Okay, and with the same drawing, okay, now my active layer is walls, and if I pick up boundary, it becomes my active layer. By default, my zero layer is the active layer. Okay, let us talk about the different line types. Since we are talking about layers here, line type is also very important. So today you will see that all these layers which we are drawing, which are basically the solid line type, I can change it into a dashed line or a center line. If you want to draw a center line, this kind of a line will not be helpful, right? So center line has a distinctive pattern. So suppose I want to show it as a different line type. What will I do? I will go to layer again, type LA. I pick up that boundary layer, and then the solid line, I will go and click one time and then go to other. And then I will load it. So you see, there are so many layers you can, line types you can load. I think that this is a proper line type that I am going to use. So I will click on that, or I may be using this one. So I am picking this one and this one. How? I am clicking on here and then pressing the control button of my keyboard and then pressing this one more time. So whatever line type you want to include, you just press the control button and then click OK. Select, then OK. So you see, these line types are being loaded into your palette. Click OK. Now, I said that I want to change the line type of the boundary layer. For that, I will go up to here and then I want to show it as a hidden line. And OK. Now again, you click there and then you see that my default layer here is by layer, that is the boundary layer, that's the color. The line type is dashed line type, but I cannot see the line type. Why? If I am choosing a dashed line type, I cannot really see this thing here. I think this is because of the scale which you are using. So in order to change it, the scale, you pick this line type or the boundary layer and then press what? Or you just wait a minute. In AutoCAD, you can press Control 1 here. You can go to Edit, File, Property. No, this is the property of. Just a moment. So you click here and Control 1. So you see there, this is my boundary layer. The color is bilayer, red color. This is the scale. So if I want to change this layer to be shown as really the hidden layer, I have to change the scale. So this is 1 by default. Let me increase it to 10. Sometimes it doesn't happen, go 10 times more, or maybe even go up to 100 times more. So now you can see the changes happening. Can you see it here? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So,
So now you see that this is no more a solid line. This has become a dashed or hidden line. But why we could not see it earlier? Because the scale at that point of time was different. Okay. Now the scale is 1000. So this is by layer and then the scale is 1000. This is not the scale of the drawing, okay? Don't confuse it. This is the scale of the dashed layer or the hidden layer. Because you are using a 1000 scale, that is why you can see this thing dashed. Or you can change it to 500, you will see smaller version of those dashed lines here. Okay. Similarly, in some drawings, forget about this plan view now. If you are, suppose in case you are a mechanical engineer, you have particular objects like this, then you want to draw a central line along this object, and normally the central line should be extended a little bit, and then uh, you want to show the central line. Click there. First of all, you create a layer which with the name of center line. So I go there, LA, and type new, and then say center line. So in this case, I use a different color, and then I will pick up this center line. Click OK. So now I click this center line, and then go here, and then pick up this layer, center line. Okay, now this is my center line. But again, you cannot see the center line. Why? Because the scale is not enough. So you click one more time, go to the scale part, then press 10. If 10 is not enough, you go up to 100, then maybe go up to 1000. So 100 is almost showing up. So go maybe up to 500. So you see? So this is the center line. So if this is an object that has a hole of a similar diameter, so I am going to use, how will you show a hole? Anyone? What kind of a line or center line do you use? What kind of a line this two should be? Remember, this is, suppose you have to first of all get a grasp of the drawing theory itself. So this is my, okay, so this is suppose a part of this object. Then I have a hole through this bottle, and then you are viewing it from this side because you cannot see the hole directly. So if you want to represent the hole, what kind of a line will you show? Yes, anyone? Can you see this bottle? This is the same thing as you can see it on the screen. So from this part to this part, from here up to here, and then here up to here, you can represent it as a rectangular object. But if you have a drill of you drill it through this thing, it's a solid object, and then you make a hole, then this hole you cannot see from this side unless you cut this part. But you want to show it in the drawing. So what line these two will be? Who can say?
A hidden line.
Very good. So if this is a hidden line, then you pick up this thing, then what layer will you select? Maybe we should be using a different kind of layer for that. Okay, I create another layer named hidden, and then for this I select the hidden line type as my default line type. You can have a different color for this one as well. Okay, so this thing will be a part of my hidden object. Then offsetting this thing again, then I trim it out. Okay, so now I am going to show you one more command. I suggest you, whenever I say command, you write down the commands on a notebook, okay, so that you don't forget what commands you are using. So this is my line type of a hidden line, but this is a center line. I need to make this center line hidden. So for that, I will use a command known as MA, or match attribute or property. So I want to match the line type of this with this one. So now it becomes hidden. Can you see that? Yes or no? Undo. This line of mine should be hidden line like this one. Okay? I simply use MA, match property or match painter or match attribute, whatever you want to say. Enter. Select my source layer and then pick up my destination object. So it becomes a hidden line like this one. If I want to draw the side view of this object, how will it be? How will this look like? Can anyone tell? I will have a what? Side view. What will you see? This is my one view. I want to have the side view of this object. This one, in third angle projection. What objects will you see? Will it be an ellipse? What? What thing will you see? First of all, you need to know what objects will you see. Then only the second thing will come, how you are going to draw it. What object will you see? Huh? The side view of this drum. If you want to draw it from this side, what object will you see? Huh? Speak up. Speak up, speak up. How come no one can tell this thing? 33 of you are there. You are drawing this view, right? Look at my screen, look at my hand. Then this is my side view in third angle. What do you notice from this
Front,
side? Huh?
front view.
Yeah, front view or side view, whatever you want to say. What object is this?
The circular.
It's not circular, it is a circle that you will see. Okay? This is the circle. So, if you want to draw, if this is your side view, yes, this is the front view. If you want to draw the front view really, so this will be a circle and this is supposed to be the center of my circle. How will you draw a circle? What command? What is the command? Draw a circle.
Circle. Type
Yeah,
C.
you don't have to write circle. You can simply type C, short form, or you can go to draw and circle. But that is a long process. That's what I am going to emphasizing this thing. You can simply use the command line, use C to draw a circle. What will be the center of the circle? The intersection of these two lines. If your snap is on, it will automatically pick up the intersection of these two lines. Okay? Now, you need to know what should be the radius of your circle. So, this is a projection line that you were drawing from the edge of this object. Then draw a circle there, and then your circle will go up to this line. It will not cross. Okay? Uh, then when it comes to drawing the hole, it will be another circle, and this will go up to here. Then you can remove these lines, and then you need to show the center line. You can extend this center line. Just a moment. Okay, so you are offsetting this line somewhere there. So my center line will extend up to here. You have to trim. Uh, you have to trim the center line. Uh, trim, trim, trim. Erase this line. So this should be my center line. So if this is my center line, I can simply match the property of this line with this line. For that, what command will I use? I need to create this line that looks like my center line in the drawing. Okay, because these two are my center lines. Simply that front view. So how you are going to do that? You pick up this line, or you can type match property, MA. Select this source line and then pick up the destination lines. But again, you see, even if you pick up the source line and destination line, because it is a smaller drawing, this scale needs to be changed in order for this to look as a center line. It is 500, now I make it as 100. Now it is more like a center line to me. Okay, then you can move it closer. So this is the front view. Normally in a third angle projection, this will go in this direction. So can you now use the layer function?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So I will give you the link for your attendance now. Just a moment. Session may be ending soon. For that, today is 15 September. Meeting will end in 5 minutes. Okay, just a moment. So far, are you practicing back home these things?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. So it is for
Yes, sir.
it is the more you practice, it is for your own good. You can draw wonderful things later on. You'll see. Copy link. Then I am sharing. Okay, so their link I have given. There you click for your attendance. Okay. Okay. Any question till now? If not, probably I will be ending the session now. Now today, what did you learn? You have learned how to create a layer, how to use the rectangle function, then how to use or how to load the line type, how to use the proper scale to show the line type, okay, and how you can use control one button in order to display the property window. So all these things we learned today. So mostly we are learning these tools and buttons, but later towards the course you will have to apply your rules or the tools that you have learned in order to create different drawings. So there may be sectional drawings, or there may be the hidden lines where you have to show, or there may be dimensions, how you are going to give the dimensions. So in order to actually get a grasp of the theory part, I will recommend you to really go into a particular book where you have all these things. So we have the reference books that you are given there. The theory part actually is covered in detail in these books. Okay, where what should be the line type of a particular or line weight of a particular feature. Suppose you are using a dimension line. Are you going to give the same line weight to that line as that of the drawing itself? Are you going to give it thinner or thicker? So these are the things which are actually explained in this theory part. Or you can ask Gilbert sir also. Sometimes if you want to get a grasp of the book, you can search in internet, or I think you would recommend to buy this book if you get a hold of. Okay. So any questions you have? Otherwise, this class is going to get soon over.
Sir, can
Yes.
you give us the name of the book?
I think the book names are there in the syllabus that I have given. Do you have a copy of the syllabus? or I can give you some books which may be available internet. Okay, so today I am going to share you